Greetings, class. This is Professor Bold, and I want to go over the course syllabus with you. So I'm starting at our front page, announcements, and I'm going to go down here, click on syllabus, and then I'm going to click on it again. And if you'll notice, there is some basic information there on the front page of the syllabus. You can actually download this or print it, either one. But here's the basic information for this course. Double, triple check and make sure you're in the right course and the right section. This is the online course of Social Work Practice 3, 3306, Section 003 and 004. My name is LaShawn Bold, and if you want to see more about me, you can look me up on the Mentis faculty profile. You can see all the courses that I've taught before and resume and things like that. Here is the main number for the School of Social Work where you can contact me. The best way to contact me is through this email address. And if we need to meet, it's best to schedule an appointment, particularly in the summertime. I'm not in there all day. I'm teaching primarily online in the summertime. So here we go, a description of the course content. This is the theory and practice of social change at the community level, including a sociological analysis of bureaucracies as collectivities of power and of the community as a social phenomenon. There are three models of community organization: community development, social action, and social planning will be emphasized, including methods of resource delivery and redistribution. The prerequisites for this class are 2311 and 2313. Only students who have a major in BS in social work will be taking this particular class. So we have some learning outcomes, and in case no one has explained to you about learning outcomes before, these are the things that the Council of Social Work Education says that you need to learn in this course. So every activity and every assignment that is in this course is followed by what we call the EPOS, or the Educational Policy and Accreditation Standards and Requirements for Core Competencies. So we expect you to be able to do these things when you have finished this course and after you have explored some of these areas. Okay, and there's several of those areas that you're expected to know. You're expected to know about engagement, assessment, intervention, evaluation. We'll talk in depth about those in this course. We get started right away in Chapter 1 on this. Here's the required textbook right here. So be sure that you get the correct textbook, and yes, it has to be the 7th edition. This is the a time when we are using a new textbook in this particular class, so you cannot use something that someone used last year. Okay, major assignments. One of your first assignments will be a class introduction. I will be asking you to do that using a program called VoiceThread, and I will provide instructions on how to do that. Basically, VoiceThread allows me to introduce to you the instructions, and also then you will record. Either you can write it or speak it or show us your face on VoiceThread, and then they all come together and we introduce ourselves in that way. It's kind of a nifty way to get to know one another. You also have a community assessment commitment form. This community assessment commitment form is your decision very early in the course and not changeable easily. But I'm going to ask you to make the commitment of whether you're going to complete these assignments primarily on your own as an individual or in a group of no more than 2 or 3. And you will find that community assessment commitment form in the Blackboard menu. So be sure that you're familiar with what that means. It's not that it can't ever be changed, but I would like for you to go ahead and make the decision in the beginning of the course and then follow through all of the course activities either by yourself or in a group. We have 10 quizzes this semester. Will have 2 opportunities to complete each quiz. You can use your course materials and your course text to complete the quizzes. We have 5 required class discussion boards. I should mention too that all of the assignments are required in this class. I'll say that again. All of the assignments are required to pass this class. I want to talk a little bit about discussion boards. They are completed independently and you will receive individual grades regardless of whether you have chosen to do this in a group or not. The reason for signing this commitment form up here is for 2 assignments, the community assessment and the activities, because we have several activities that relate to the community assessment. So that's what you assign the commitment form. The rest of these things, your quizzes and your discussion boards, will be individual grades, and you will complete those as individuals. So you will, when we do a discussion board, that's going to be a discussion with the entire class. And there are 5 of those. Also, this is an upper level class. So please remember that discussion boards must be substantive. They must have information from the course materials and course text for you to get full credit for these discussion boards. You must have a minimum of 3 posts, 1 initial, and 2 responses to others in order to receive the full points. Discussion boards also close at the end of each week and will not be reopened. This is because a discussion is meant to be a discussion between you and other people. So we want to be sure that you are discussing that in a timely manner. So I ask that you post your first initial response by Friday, and then you have the whole weekend to respond to others. So your responses to others are due on Mondays. Does everybody understand that? You respond your first time by Friday, and responses to 2 others by Monday. Here is a rubric of what is expected in each discussion board, and this can be found here in the syllabus. Again, you can refer back to it. Required activities. There are 7 activities that are required in this course. These activities are designed to help you with the community assessment written assignment. Your big project for this semester is this community assessment. In order to do the assessment, you must complete these activities, and they're designed to help you process through getting the assessment done. It's not going to do every piece of what's required in the assessment, but it gets you thinking about the assessment and points you in the right direction. So you have these 7 activities. There is, first one is exploring the community assessment topic. You will be choosing a topic. Then we have a windshield survey. There's a video post about the topic. Asset mapping, assessing a social service organization, identifying your major findings, and advocacy. These are all in order of how you can help you put together this community assessment. Now here, I'm going to do another video more specifically about the community assessment, so I'm not going to get too much detail here, but you need to be able to refer to the syllabus to know what's expected. Essentially, it was organized into a 12 to 16 page paper, and the details are here. You will explore a community by choosing a topic from the following list. You will be asked to put this on the commitment form that you are going to do your community assessment project, which is exploring the community and writing a paper on one of these topics, either domestic violence, child abuse, aging, homelessness, poverty, mental health, or health. You will refer to the Blackboard menu. There's some more guidelines for the paper. Okay. Also, there are several opportunities for extra credit in this class. Those are indicated in the course materials. Your course materials include additional readings, videos, and internet information, all there to help you with your learning process. Grading. In most cases, you can expect that I will be getting your grades back to you within about 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully quicker than that, but I like to have at least 2 to 3 weeks to get to things. If you have questions in between, I'm usually very easily accessible, and you can just email me with your questions. I cannot answer emails about specific letter grades or number grades, but I can direct you in the right place to find those particular grades. We can also discuss things in person by appointment as needed. Here are the assignments. It's based on percentages, not points. Blackboard likes to show you all the points that are there, and when you look on Blackboard, you can actually have an app for Blackboard, and your app will show you these are the points that you've earned. This course is not graded by points. This course is graded by a percentage of your final average, and each of the assignments is weighted according to a certain percent. And so you can see that information here on your syllabus, what the percentages of your final grade are. If you will notice that community assessment is a large percentage of your grade, as are the required activities and the discussion boards. If you miss discussion boards and miss required activities, that's a huge part of your grade, so you don't want to miss those things. There are no makeup exams here, but here is the information about if papers are late. I do not accept papers after 7 days of being late. Any late papers result in a deduction of 2 points per day, and all papers and assignments all papers must go through Safe Assign. If other things need to go through Safe Assign, I've indicated it on Blackboard. Attendance. Here's where you know that each week begins on a Tuesday and ends on a Monday. Let me repeat that. Each week begins on a Tuesday and ends on a Monday. Discussion board posts are due by Friday of the first post, and then you have until Monday to respond to the other people. That's to help you so that everybody can respond to one another. Here is the course schedule. The formatting of our syllabus templates are a little bit difficult to navigate, so that's why this is the top of the course schedule, but here's the whole thing and where it starts. You begin in the Start Here area of Blackboard. So week 1, you begin in the Start Here area. As I said before, and you're welcome, there's always something unusual or wrong about the syllabus, and I've already noticed something, and that is here that there is no number 2 here in week 2. But you should know that this is week 2. This is what will show up on Blackboard in that module. And so they're actually referred to as modules here. So module 1, module 2. And here's what you're to accomplish in that time period. The quizzes actually will stay open throughout the semester, but the discussion boards close at the end of every week. So there are 11 modules in this summer course, and I will encourage you to look very closely at each of these modules to be sure that you understand each week what you're expected to do. Your weekly checklist is you're supposed to see the course materials, read the course text. Here's another typo there I noticed. That should say read the course text. If I were going to write in there, it would say read the course text. Sorry about that. You must purchase the text and be prepared for weekly quizzes. You've got to purchase the text and have the text and read it in order to pass this class. Review the PowerPoints, watch all of the videos, complete all of the assignments, participate in the discussion, check announcements at least twice a week, and be sure you're familiar with how to access the technical support. There's some other information here for expectations of out-of-class study, grade grievances, student support services, the librarian contacts, the drop policy, disability accommodations, and some other university policies here that are included that I want you to read in detail. There are student feedback surveys at the end. That is the brief overview of the syllabus in a nutshell. I'll